Pickup trucks dominate American roads today, appearing at every traffic light, filling daily parking lots, and crowding the hardware store supply runs on a busy Saturday morning. The 10 unusual pickup trucks featured here break conventional rules of automotive design, originating from engineers, designers, and eccentric automotive executives who decided to actually build and sell them to the public. Many of these utility vehicles failed in the consumer market, while a select few developed a devoted cult following over the passing decades. We're going to look closely at these 10 unorthodox pickup trucks that challenge everything you expect from a light-duty cargo vehicle. Examine the 1997 Chevy S10 EV, a functional electric pickup truck that existed long before modern electric vehicle companies dominated the automotive market. Chevrolet manufactured a battery-powered version of their popular S10 model in 1997, decades before the current electric vehicle boom began taking shape across the industry. The exterior of the truck looked ordinary, featuring no distinctive badging to indicate its electric powertrain and completely lacking the giant digital touchscreens found in modern interiors. This was just a standard-looking, compact truck running purely on battery power, built years before that specific engineering approach gained any widespread consumer respect. Buyers at the time treated electric cars as experimental technology, yet Chevrolet was quietly parking these working electric trucks in ordinary American driveways. Sales numbers were notably low for the S10 EV, but the underlying battery and motor technology worked exactly as intended. Electric trucks actually existed during the late 1990s, sitting quietly in domestic garages while the broader auto industry spent the next several decades avoiding the technology entirely. The automotive industry took a distinctly aggressive turn when Lamborghini released the LM002, a specialized machine frequently referred to by enthusiasts as the Rambo Lambo. Lamborghini was historically known exclusively for building low-slung Italian sports cars, yet they released a large, boxy, off-road utility vehicle in 1986. This unusual truck originated from a military vehicle project started in 1977, and the engineers ultimately installed a 12-cylinder Italian sports car engine directly under the hood. They used a heavily modified and detuned version of the exact same motor that powered their famous high-performance supercars during that specific era. Buyers could also specially order a specialized Marine V12 engine, a heavy power plant built specifically for offshore racing boats, and have it installed right onto the truck chassis straight from the factory. Lamborghini manufactured approximately 300 units of the LM002 between 1986 and 1993, creating an aggressive mechanical statement wrapped in sharp sheet metal. Ford took a different approach by producing the 1987 Ford Bigfoot Cruiser, designing a factory-built mini monster truck and selling it directly through normal corporate dealerships to everyday retail buyers. The truck featured oversized tires, heavy-duty off-road lighting equipment bolted all over the body, and bold graphic decals designed to attract attention from a significant distance. Ford shipped roughly 300 of these specialized trucks directly from the factory. But the aftermarket lighting equipment caused a notable number of the vehicles to catch fire during regular operation. A sizable portion of those original 300 production trucks burned down and no longer exist anywhere in the world today. Ford essentially built a retail monster truck that frequently suffered from spontaneous combustion, making the few surviving examples exceedingly difficult to locate in the modern collector market. A Swiss vehicle design company called Rinspeed introduced a concept called the Tattoo.com in the year 2000, painting the vehicle bright orange and giving it the distinct proportions of a life-size plastic truck. Rinspeed regularly operated by pushing conventional vehicle styling far past normal limits, relying on unusual concept builds to challenge basic automotive design principles. And this specific project ignored standard utility requirements entirely. No one was ever meant to drive this stylized vehicle to a demanding construction site or use it for manual labor. The Tattoo.com serves strictly as a visual statement designed specifically to attract attention at international auto shows, completely ignoring the basic need to haul materials across town. The visual design was strikingly unorthodox, creating a unique profile that dominated any room it occupied. Chevrolet attempted a different utility approach with the Blazer Chalet model, released in 1976. The engineering team looked at their proven off-road Blazer platform and decided it needed to function simultaneously as a fully equipped camping vehicle. They bypassed a basic fiberglass shell bolted to the bed, opting instead to install a comprehensive pop-up living space directly onto the truck frame. The Chalet featured an expandable roof section that extended upward to reveal dedicated sleeping areas, a compact operational kitchen setup, and functional resting spaces for passengers. The vehicle operated simultaneously as both a standard utility truck and a recreational vehicle, combining two different automotive categories into a single platform. The dual-purpose concept seemed practical in theory, right up until owners attempted to back the top-heavy vehicle into a narrow forest campsite. Chevrolet genuinely attempted to provide adventurous drivers with a recreational option that no other competitor offered at the time, resulting in a deeply unconventional final product. The 1955 Powell Pickup represents a unique chapter in independent automotive manufacturing, originally built in Compton, California by brothers Channing and Hayward Powell. The brothers assembled this distinct utility truck using surplus leftover parts pulled directly from older Plymouth and Dodge passenger vehicles. The steel frame, the engine block, and the internal mechanical components were all recycled and repurposed from existing scrapyard materials. The truck featured an angular and boxy exterior profile simply because it was assembled from whatever scrap metal the Powell brothers had readily available, meaning the visual design choices were dictated entirely by available inventory rather than a professional styling team. The Powells specifically built a hidden metal storage tube directly inside the rear truck bed walls, creating a dedicated compartment designed exclusively to store long fishing rods. This specialized storage tube was engineered into the structural design from the very first day of production, proving the brothers listened closely to their outdoorsman customer base. The Powell manufacturing operation ran strictly from 1955 to 1957, and acquiring one of these surviving trucks today provides collectors with a legitimate piece of independent California automotive history. The corporate archives at Ford contain limited records regarding a rare model called the Ford Durango, an experimental vehicle produced in 1979 that shares absolutely no connection with the modern Dodge Durango SUV. The engineering team took a standard two-door Ford Fairmont Futura passenger car, entirely removed the rear half of the steel roof and bodywork, and securely attached a fiberglass truck bed directly over the former back seat area. The resulting vehicle occupied a strange middle ground between two distinct categories, functioning partially as a compact passenger car and partially as a light-duty work truck, while failing to fully commit to either specific role. Ford produced only about 200 total units of this car-truck hybrid before shutting down the entire manufacturing program. The official archived company records regarding this specific Durango model remain sparse, heavily indicating that corporate executives wanted to move away from the project as quickly as possible. Dodge misjudged the consumer market in 1989 when they officially introduced the Dakota Convertible to the general public. This was a factory-approved, soft-top convertible pickup truck modified directly by the American Sunroof Corporation and sold at standard Dodge dealerships to regular paying customers. This vehicle was not an independent custom job or a single conceptual prototype, but rather an official production vehicle available for regular retail purchase. Dodge executives truly believed that American buyers wanted an open-air driving experience that combined the breezy freedom of a standard convertible with the practical utility of a pickup truck cargo bed. The consumer market rejected the concept entirely, resulting in only a few thousand total buyers actually purchasing the vehicle. The fundamental logic featured a certain charm, allowing drivers to experience the open sky and rushing wind while still carrying cargo in the back. The underlying problem was that exposed cargo and sudden rainstorms do not mix well, a practical reality that everyday buyers recognized long before the Dodge executives figured it out. Chevrolet introduced the Corvair 95 Rampside between 1961 and 1964, utilizing an unconventional engineering layout that placed the engine completely in the rear of the vehicle rather than under the front hood. This specific rear engine placement created an uneven cargo floor, requiring the rear bed to be elevated to clear the bulky mechanical components sitting underneath. This elevated floor made standard rear loading difficult, despite the presence of a traditional rear tailgate. The Chevrolet engineering team solved this loading issue by cutting a large hinged door directly into the side of the exterior truck bed, designing it to fold all the way down, flat to the ground, and create a functional loading ramp. Workers could easily roll a heavy wheelbarrow, push a loaded utility dolly, or physically walk cargo straight up the incline and into the bed without lifting anything over a tall metal wall. The engineering team successfully answered a very specific, practical loading problem by implementing a mechanical solution that no other major manufacturer had attempted before. An independent coach builder, known as the American Sunroof Corporation, developed a specialized aftermarket conversion project in 1991 called the Ford SkyRanger. This company specialized in modifying standard production vehicles, and their specific goal for this project involved cutting the metal roof completely off an extended cab Ford Ranger and presenting it to Ford executives as a viable, convertible truck option. The resulting SkyRanger functioned as a completely open-air convertible compact pickup, although it retained a prominent structural targa bar situated directly behind the front passenger seats. The design eliminated the roof entirely, exposing the driver to rushing wind and direct sunlight while driving down the open highway. Ford targeted this vehicle at older buyers who regretted missing out on classic American convertibles from previous decades, hoping to provide them with an affordable and sporty driving experience. The broader automotive market responded to this convertible truck with silence, completely ignoring the vehicle. Fewer than 20 total examples of these modified trucks survive anywhere in the world today, leaving behind a very small footprint for such a major automotive manufacturer. The vehicles failed to sell at dealerships and quietly disappeared from the market, leaving behind a tiny handful of surviving examples that serious automotive collectors actively pursue today. These 10 distinctly unusual trucks highlight decisions ranging from practical engineering solutions to spectacular corporate miscalculations. The list includes a luxury Lamborghini stuffed with an offshore boat engine, a factory-built retail monster truck that frequently caught fire, and a functional electric pickup from 1997 that the broader automotive world forgot about for more than 2 decades. We also examined an independent California utility truck featuring a built-in fishing rod compartment, alongside a convertible pickup truck that mainstream consumers ignored entirely. Almost every single one of these unconventional vehicles rolled off an official corporate assembly line, received approval from high-level executives, and went on sale to everyday retail buyers. The history of automotive manufacturing is filled with these mechanical experiments that continue to fascinate dedicated vehicle collectors around the world today.